Last time on Day of Days.
Dr. King's methods are gonna kill us!
Well, and you hear that out there?
Yeah, been sort of wondering what it is.
Some kind of rally or protest, I guess.
Cassandra, get down off of that car!
I'm gonna scream until Ronnie can hear me!
Baby, I know you're hurt!
Out of my way, lady!
Don't touch her!
Wait!
Back up off me, man!
Put that blade away!
Oh, God!
There's a storm coming for him, for all of us, and I worry there's things cluttering up his connection to the God inside him.
And what happens if we don't clear up that connection?
Well, the movement and our hopes fail.
Surely Daddy told you about my trial sermon.
You mean only the most important day in the life of his soon-to-be co-pastor son? Or I might have heard little.
My inaugural sermon at Ebenezer, make or break. I had to prove to these folks I had the unction of the Holy Spirit.
Your father said it did not go according to plan.
Man, who are you telling? I'm telling you, I thought I was going to lay folks out in the aisles with that one. I was sure I was about to preach the next Sermon on the Mount. And so, when we do right, when we do righteous things, surely our righteous Father will see the good works within us. Is there an amen in this house today? Silence, Howard. Like the tomb of Christ Almighty himself. I was ready for a shout, and it was damn near quiet enough to hear a mouse peeing on cotton.
The great scion of the King ministerial legacy striking out in his first at bat.
It was a swing and a miss.
I tell you what, sometimes it's just how it goes for all of us.
Well, you just can't admit that and not share at least one epic failure.
Now, who said anything about epic?
Now, Howard.
Fine. We've all had them. Back at Fellowship in San Francisco, I would try anything just to rattle folks' church experience.
Trying to keep things lively, I get it.
More about being more expansive and expressive. Room to meditate and think. We had drama ministries, visits to tortilla factories, symphonic listening sessions. I started a drama and dance program to accompany services.
I'm jealous.
So I invited Merce Cunningham's modern dance troupe as guest artists. These dancers are from the Merce Cunningham Dance Company. As they move through and around us, think of Jesus and the Jews of Judea. Pressed in, constricted, controlled by the Romans. They are like the underprivileged everywhere, abandoning hope of salvation when the crucial issues of our day wall them in with despair. I'd come to Merce Cunningham with this idea. I asked him to build us a piece where the dancers had to contend with being pressed against a wall. So I asked the church custodians to build canvas panels that looked like Roman walls, but I forgot to tell the dancers the panels wouldn't support their weight. And the musicians were too close to the dance area, not enough rehearsal time, and...
No.
Yes. Before I knew what was happening, there were pieces of walls, dizzy dancers, and confused congregants all over the place.
What did you do?
What any self-respecting cleric would do. I just went with it. The walls around us may seem solid, unbreakable. But when we move to our own song, to the song of God within us, they reveal themselves to be weak.
They bought that.
Hook, line, and sinker. It never occurred to me somebody hadn't thought to run the piece through a couple of times with all the bodies in place.
The best laid plans, eh?
Mice and men.
Getting people to see we can do church different is a struggle.
That right there is the gospel.
Now look here, here's the thing. I know I can't get anywhere with this movement work without the members.
Yes.
Faith and social change go hand in hand.
Of course, yes.
But Rev, these saints of ours.
Feet of clay, right?
Like red Georgia dust. It's a fight getting them to take their worship and work outside the church walls. God is a God of change.
Yes. Some people want God to be tiny, hemmed into Sunday and the sanctuary.
Exactly what I was dealing with in Montgomery. They love the idea of the boycott sitting in the church pews on Sunday, but get them in their work clothes out in the sun on a Monday morning.
A whole new congregation.
Brand new, Howard. It was like they had been replaced with crabs in a barrel.
I'm not riding in Jimmy Turner's old bus strap of a car anywhere. Have me showing up to work smelling like Aqua Velva Newports and burning motor oil.
Who said I was going to take you anywhere, anyhow, Elvira?
Divisive energies were already spreading.
How am I supposed to get from Montgomery all the way out to the county in that kind of time?
Communication had broken down a bit.
How are y'all gonna fit in this car?
Girl, if you don't hurry up and come on here.
Folks, I know this morning isn't going exactly as we had thought.
Baby, let me have a word with you.
Yes, Mother. Yes, Mother Washington.
All this hollering and who shot John out here, it's because we're scared.
I get that. I truly do.
Folks need reassurance. We gotta know there's a bigger plan.
The bigger plan is to follow the example of Christ.
Oh, and Jesus wants us to risk our jobs? Reverend, this is no pulpit.
Exactly. Jesus didn't have a pulpit. He had angry people who were fed up.
I know that's right.
Grating against an oppressive force, and they got in the streets of Jerusalem, walked dusty roads, met their physical needs.
Hey. Don't tell me that. Tell them.
Folks, I know you are frustrated and worried, but I want you to know the stand you take today will drive an entire nation forward. You are the conscience of a broken America. When you climb into these cars that are too small and cramped on your way to jobs with employers who are angry with you and baring their teeth, you are Christ, throwing out the defilers of the temple, defanging Roman power. The eyes of America and your children are more important than any small back seat or someone's smelly feet. That's right. You are sacrificing so that we can call out the lie that we are an inferior race.
Have sermon will travel, huh, Mike?
I had to say something. And anything, fast.
Well, I love it. And you delivered on that leadership all the way to the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Howard.
Your people believe in you, Martin. You understand community. That's where we draw strength.
It's the only way I've survived this long. I owe so much to those folks. Howard, I'm so scared of failing them.
Well, what if I told you that you almost certainly will fail them?
I'd say I have thought that many times. In fact, I know it's true. Still, this movement doesn't have time for me to fail right now. Our people need change.
But Mike, where does that change come from?
Just like you said, it's the strength of God working through community and collective action.
Oh, yes, surely I agree, but
you think I'm wrong?
I don't like the word wrong. You talk about community and collective action, I hear that. But what of the beings, the individuals inside that community? I wonder what you think of them.
I think individuals on their own can't overcome human sin. It's all around us, ever present. And the evils of this world are social. Segregation, lynchings. They come from people banding together in institutions to oppress us. And so the response can't be individualized. It has to be collective.
I see that, yes, but how is an individual to be of use in that collective if they haven't made a personal, soul-level choice not to cooperate with that evil?
Of course, I think that's important. But don't you think change only happens when you take that choice that you talk about and then connect it to community action?
Actually, I think you're jumping ahead of me.
Well, how else do we overcome the evil and sin of the world?
By overcoming the evil and sin that resides in us. Listen, you tell me you carry my book.
Everywhere.
Those hounds of hell I talk about, deception, fear, hate, those don't live in institutions and communities. They live in the hearts of men. All of us, you and me included. I'm calling all of us to account. When we fight those dogs inside ourselves, that's when we become an agent of reconciliation.
Forgive me, Howard, but folks need more than reconciliation agents. And we're so close.
Close to what?
Something that might be justice. An end to separate but equal. Segregation laws crumbling. And these white racists, oh, Howard, they know it. They feel that we're on to something. That's why they're bombing our houses and calling me at night saying they'll run me out of town.
White racists, Negro nationalists. It sounds like you're fighting all these external forces.
We are. Truly, Howard, Jesus and the Disinherited is a blueprint for my work. But there are things happening right now that I don't think you anticipated. Look at us. We are nearly 100 years from the Emancipation Proclamation, and what do we have to show for it?
Well, you just said segregation's end might be in sight.
Might be. Might. But only if I strike while the iron is hot. Only if we carry the lessons of Montgomery up to Arkansas and get those children in their schools. And only if we get folks registered and voting before folks like Nixon lose interest. We're on a precipice, and I have got to fight or we fall off the ledge.
What's that fight doing to you?
I've learned to call on God when I feel lost. You know that.
And is he responding? Mike, you understand the minds and motivations of white racists better than anyone. You have seen their evil in intimate ways, but trying to outwit and outsmart them, it sounds like an obsession. It's as if you give them a power that tethers you to them.
I have to stay a step ahead of them.
You're not ahead of them. You're chained to them. You have to hold on to your power, your divine connection.
But my divine connection is through my work defeating these racists.
What happens when you have setbacks then? The times when you fail to change laws or get the kids in schools or get the voters registered. Is your connection to God severed?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Is that where these episodes of yours are coming from?
Perhaps.
I think humans need a piece of ourselves that can't be touched by the world around us. A sealed off place where God dwells in us. And we can have creative encounters with our inner life.
I know I need that. But sometimes I'm not even sure what that looks like. How have you done it?
It's something I started as a child, when I despised the picture an evil person painted of God.
And I have come by here to tell you there's a lesson to be learned from this man in this casket.
I was just a little thing when Daddy died. About 6 years old, I think.
He turned his back on God. Turned his back on the church. Would not come into the Holy of Holies to have his soul made clean. When you are out of church community like Saul Thurman, you are out of accordance with God.
Bring it on, Pastor.
And that's why I'm telling you today, Saul Thurman is on his way to hell.
Eventually, I'd heard enough from that man.
You don't know Papa! You don't know him!
My grandmother and mother found me sitting by the road on the way home.
One thing is for sure. When I grow up to be a man, I'll never have anything to do with church.
Well, how in the world did little Howard find God then?
God found me. I don't talk about this much, but life was awful for me in some ways. I was picked on, bullied. I was a fat boy and pigeon-toed. Ugly looking, I was told. No father or brothers to protect me. One day I just couldn't stand the taunts anymore. I ran off in the night to the beach. Discovered nature could love me. Just as I was, wrapped me in its most gentle, supple arms. Something mystic and secure was out there in the Florida darkness. The waves crashing on the beach. And there was something about the night sky. The stars in it. So dark. Black in the night. And all those stars covered my spirit in love.
Night by Howard Thurman. A spell is thrown o'er land and sea. From all mankind there comes a fee. She reigns upon a throne of might. Her king is God. Her name is Night.
Seems like nature has a powerful hold on you.
Nature's not the point, Mike. It's just the conduit. Nature gives me the cover for that protected time and connection to God when I can work my soul over.
Now I can get that. I think I even felt that once.
Yeah? Tell me, what was it?
It was back during the boycott. Threats on my life were coming into the church, threats on Coretta and Yoki. People were overhearing whites in town making plans to get me.
I can't even imagine the fear you must have felt.
Honestly, Howard, I don't think many folk can. I don't even tell Coretta how scared I was.
Did something happen?
One night, there's this call to the house. Comes in late after I'd had a long day. I pick up and this voice says, "Listen, nigger, we've taken all we want from you. Before next week, you'll be sorry you ever came to Montgomery."
Oh, Jesus.
I just leapt up and started pacing, keyed up. I go to the kitchen and heat up coffee. I can't even drink it. I'm just thinking I have to find a way out of this boycott without looking like a coward. And then I despise myself for even thinking that.
Mike, I'm sorry.
Finally, I have nothing left. I'm just staring at this untouched coffee, and I call out to God. I still remember the words. I am here taking a stand for what I believe is right, but now I am afraid. The people are looking to me for leadership, and if I stand before them without strength and courage, they too will falter. I am at the end of my powers. I have nothing left. I've come to the point where I can't face it alone. And Howard, this presence just filled the kitchen, the house, my whole soul. A voice said, "Stand up for justice, stand up for truth, and God will be at your side forever." My uncertainty disappeared. I was ready to face anything. I had never felt divinity like that before, and
Mike,
Mike, what's wrong?
I haven't felt anything like that ever since. I'm scared, Howard. Have I lost my connection to God?
Mike, I think we need some night air.
We what?
Dr. King, you buzzed?
No, actually, Irma, it was me. I need your assistance.
Okay.
It's an unorthodox request.
Will it get me in trouble?
Well, remember when you asked for my help in Dr. King's recuperation?
Yes.
I just need you to get us access to the hospital's roof.
Dr. King?
I don't know what Howard has planned, but if it means breaking out of this room, even for a few minutes, count me in.
All right. Let me get a wheelchair.
Oh, and we'll need that radio over there. We are out here to listen. Shh. Just be still for a moment. Be quiet. You feel that breeze?
Crisp, cool.
What's it feel like to you, Irma?
Oh no, y'all go ahead without me.
I'm inviting you in, Irma. It's not hard. Tell me about the breeze. Yeah, close your eyes first.
Oh, good grief. Fine. It's strong up here. It whips.
Crisp. Capricious. Martin, recite something. Anything that reminds you of the person you were when you were sure about your purpose.
Well, I don't
First
know.
impulse, don't overthink this, just go.
The oppressed have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win.
Karl Marx and his Communist Manifesto. A choice.
Don't tell anyone.
Secret safe with me. Now say it again.
The oppressed have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win.
Now your turn, Irma.
Me? We're here about him.
No, we're here about all of us. Just start your own mantra. Something from back when you still had faith in yourself and this community.
Some of my own.
Something of your own.
Okay.
Come on, Martin, don't stop. The oppressed.
The oppressed have nothing to lose
Keep
but their
repeating.
chains.
Keep repeating that.
Have a world to win.
Weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
Psalms 30.
Grandma used to say it back when summer storms were hitting Alabama. I say it every time I leave a shift.
Keep going.
The oppressed have nothing
This
to
feels.
lose but their chains.
Weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
Yes.
Weeping endures for a night, but joy
Yes, keep
comes in the
reciting.
morning. Weeping
Keep
endures for a
reciting,
night,
keep
but joy
reciting, but
comes
with
in the
every
morning.
word, let the wind touch your mouth as the word comes out. The ending of summer, the crispness. How does that change the way you say chains? The way you say joy? How is this wind bending those words?
They have a world to win.
Now let's set this to music.
Nothing to lose but their chains.
Weeping endures for
They
a
have a
night.
world
Secret
to
sun.
oppressed have nothing to lose but their chains.
Weeping endures for a night, but joy
To win.
Ah, Brooks' setting of the Kol Nidre. Perfect and divinely ordered. Listen to this. The music of the Lord. Close your eyes. Think of the you from back when you heard this verse, Irma, back when you first read that manifesto, Mike. The you that had passion and hope, had a sense of possibility, believed you could move and change things. Look at his clothes, Martin. Look at her little hands, Irma. Look at the smile on his face. Look at her cuddling her grandmother. Shake his hand. Wrap her up in a hug. Do you see them?
Yes.
I do.
Just say hello and whatever's on your heart to say to them.
Hi. Hi, Irma. I miss you.
It's good to see you, Mike.
Now what, Mr. Thurman?
Just stay here with little Irma and young Martin. Be quiet with them. Let them live again. How does that feel?
I feel a little bit clearer.
That's a start. Irma?
I wish Cassandra knew the little girl I was.
Perhaps you can introduce them.
It's getting chilly.
All right, well, you both go on back down. I'll stay up here for just a few more minutes.
I'll be back in a bit, Dr. King.
All right now.
Hello?
I've forgotten my joy.
Mama?
Yeah, it's me.
Forgotten what joy?
The joy of hope, of believing there's more than just hurt and anger. I can't do things like you, Sandy. I'm not built for being in the streets and in rallies and things.
Okay. That's okay.
But there's no joy, no life to just hiding in people's trauma. I want to know folks before they get laid out on the stretcher with bruises and blood and...
Well, that's a change I didn't see coming.
Neither did I. I love you so much.
Lord, thank you for bringing me to this moment. Thank you for Epiphany. Thank you for showing yourself in the breeze, in the stars, in the sounds of a city. Thank you for revelation. You are not done. Take him where he does not want to go. I don't... He's fine now. I've set him on the path. Take him where he does not want to go. Go where you do not want to go.
Day of Days is written by Darren Kennedy. It was created and produced by Michael Epstein of Walking Cinema, with direction, sound design, and original music by Jonathan Mitchell. Starring Billy Eugene Jones as Howard, Jordan Mahome as Martin, and Anya Pearson as Irma. The executive producer is Will Rogers, the producer is Andrew Calloway, and Amanda Brown is the dramaturg. It was recorded at Miratone Studio in New York City by Colin Dworsky. Day of Days was made possible by a grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities to Walking Cinema, an experiential storytelling studio based in San Francisco. For a full list of credits and a special immersive companion piece to Day of Days, go to dayofdayspodcast.com.